EasyFix is a compound drug manufactured by Fairbeer that is popular among doctors because of its wide applicability. That is, the doctor does not know the patient's specific symptom, but they still can prescribe the drug to the patients, similar to Taiwan's Funatan or 丝丝感冒胶囊. EasyFix has been sold in the United States for more than 10 years. Even though EasyFix is very popular in the medical community, it has recently been found to have serious side effects that even led to death. 20 to 30 patients die from this every year. Therefore, drug research experts believing that EasyFix needs to be removed from the shelf, believing that there are other better products on the market. Safe and lower risk drugs are available, and the experts are discussing with the FAD to complete ban on their sale in the United States. But when it comes to the economic aspect, EasyFix accounts for about 25% of Fairbeer's annual revenue, and its market share and sales in Asia are also slowly increasing. If EasyFix is removed from the shelf in the US, it will also affect the Asian market. Consumers may be more inclined to buy EasyFix alternative drugs. This will undoubtedly be a bad result for Fairbeer, not to mention that Fairbeer's turnover will be hit hard. For this reason, Fairbeer's CEO convened board members to urgently discuss response strategy in the US and Asian markets.
The first main challenge is how to maintain goodwill while minimizing the loss. After this incident, we must maintain our goodwill and minimize the loss at the same time. However, our company would hemorrhage money if we hastily removed EasyFix, since it accounts for about 25% of our annual revenue. On the other hand, if we didn't remove EasyFix from the shelves in the US immediately, we might be blamed for our behavior and not be believed by the public anymore. Hence, it is a challenge for us to strike a balance between maintaining goodwill and minimizing our loss. The second main challenge is how to minimize the impact on Asian markets. As the statistics shows, EasyFix's sales in Asian markets are slowly increasing. While dealing with the controversy in the US market, we cannot let the impact spill over into the Asian market, or our sales will be badly hit. Therefore, we have to come up with a solution that can keep the loss to a minimum in the Asian market. The last main challenge is how can we rebuild public's trust in us after this incident. People may start asking doctors to avoid prescribing EasyFix due to its serious side effects and a lack of understanding. Also, the public may not dare to use them, even if we remove all the products immediately. We must devise some countermeasures and thus rebuild the public's trust in us. So, the second part are decisions to be made. The first decisions to be made is whether to remove EasyFix from the shelves in the United States immediately. Just as discussed in the first main challenge, removing EasyFix from the shelves in the United States immediately can be a double-edged sword, because it can maintain our goodwill, but also cause enormous losses. We should evaluate the consequences of our decisions and then make up our minds. The second problem is whether to allow doctors to continue prescribing the drug. According to the report, the severe side effects of EasyFix lead 20 to 30 people to death every year. Hence, we should decide whether to allow doctors to continue prescribing the drug. If so, the antidotes to preventing controversy and the misunderstanding are strictly necessary. The last part is whether to use the same strategy in Asian market as in the US market. So also, as discussed in the second main challenge, EasyFix's sales in the Asian market are slowly increasing, and the side effects of the drug may have not manifested. Accordingly, after choosing better solutions to the previous problems, we must determine whether or not the same strategy be used in the Asian market. If not, we have to search for alternatives. Our group explored the alternatives for Asian markets, and our final decision is C. Here, we use the deletion method. First of all, A is to destroy all stocks of EasyFix immediately. But we think the impact of Asia is not so great, so total destruction is too costly. B is to stop manufacturing but allow the inventory on the shelf to continue to be sold. But the public has a negative impression of this drug, so if it continues to be sold, we may be scalded. D is to continue to sell until it is banned, same as above. If the company does not take any action, it may be scalded for being irresponsible, black-hearted enterprises, and so on. E is to take any action to prevent the drug from being banned. This is more radical than the first two, and it is too inhuman to be protested in addition to being scalded. Finally, C is to stop advertising, but doctors can prescribe the drugs. Compared with the other four methods, it may be more reassuring for doctors with professional knowledge to prescribe medicine. But this is also a double-sided blade, because the cause of this accident is actually the doctor. So it is also important to make the public feel at ease. So next, we will talk about how to reassure people.
Next, I'm going to talk about how to rebuild trust. To truly restore public confidence, we need to do 3 steps. The first step is to acknowledge the problem. The first thing we should do is to make a public apology, a clear statement that shows we recognize the harm caused and take full responsibility. This apology should emphasize that we care deeply about patient safety. And the second one is to transparent our communication. We need to hold a press conference to provide more details about EasyFix. We can use this opportunity to explain the benefit EasyFix has provided over years, and also the specific risk identified and how we're going to address them. And also the actions we're going to take to prevent the further risk. And I think this kind of transparency helps people feel that we're being honest and working to fix the situation. And the third one is to compensate for victims. It's also important to offer financial support to families who are affected by EasyFix. This step not only shows our empathy, but also sends a clear message that we care about those families and we are committed to make things right.
Since EasyFix prescriptions can continue, it's really important that we rely on the professional judgment of doctors. However, because EasyFix has serious side effects, we need to make sure the drug comes with clear instructions and guidance. We also need to ensure that every pharmacist and doctor knows exactly how to use EasyFix properly. To achieve this, I suggest we focus on 2 key actions. First, we need clear rules and instructions for prescribing EasyFix. Let me break it down into 3 points. Point 1. Who are the right patients for this drug? We need to clearly define which patients are suitable for EasyFix. Point 2. When should doctors choose a safer alternative? We should provide simple guidelines to help doctors decide how to choose a correct alternative medicine. Point 3. How can we guide patients to take EasyFix the right way, while also explaining its potential side effects? We need to explain the clear steps for teaching patients how to take EasyFix correctly and warn them about possible side effects. Second, we need to work closely with medical experts. First, ask professionals to write articles about EasyFix to build trust. Next, we should set up a system that allows doctors, pharmacists, and patients quickly report any problems or side effects from EasyFix. By taking these steps, we can build trust again and make sure EasyFix is used safely in the future.
After our discussion, considering the significant but also detrimental effects of EasyFix, we believe that the best alternative or the best solution for our Asian market is taking necessary action to prevent EasyFix from being banned in the Asian markets. So first of all, as what we learned in the reading materials, it was the inappropriate use of EasyFix that contributed to those potential deaths. Nevertheless, the drug still serves as an effective treatment and an unsure diagnosis, preventing some patients to be despaired and hopeless. And second, from our perspective as the board, we all know that EasyFix accounts for 25% of our annual total revenue, so it could be a significant loss when the drug is strictly banned. As a result, we would like to permit the use of EasyFix with a more restricted standard in the future, like the drug could only be used under the approval of the nation's health administration. So with a purchase like this, perhaps the use of EasyFix could be more rigorous and more precise in the future.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to introduce the reason that we choose the continuing marketing effort as the worst solution. We discuss it based on the moral right principle. It's immoral to continue marketing efforts because it may cause more unnecessary deaths in society. This way, only think of the interest of the company. Also, if they keep selling, some affected families may sue the company for the pain of bereavement. Then, loading of marketing will also occur because the consumers prefer to choose the safer alternatives than the company which is lack of the morals. What's more, throughout the discussion, some people thought that recalling and destroying old stocks would impact too many people, such as employees. If doing this, it may lead to unemployment or decreased salary. Also, recalling and destroying old stocks will cause enormous costs to the company. However, if we want to avoid intervention from the government, it is imperative not to continue selling the products that will cause people to protest. If people choose to protest, the government will be forced to do some action to appease public anger. In the advantage aspect, recalling and destroying products was better than continuing selling, because the previous one could gain the repetition and praise from the consumer. It will show that they care about human rights more than interest and money. In conclusion, whether in the short-term profit or long-term consequence, continuing the marketing efforts will impact more people. Based on the reason mentioned above, we think that continuing the marketing efforts is the worst. Thank you.
After delving into the two markets, we come up with different solutions for each market. For the US market, to rebuild the public's trust and maintain goodwill, we should first make a public apology and hold a press conference to explain the risk and show evidence that the drug works. Also, we should teach people how to use the drug correctly and make sure doctors follow updated rules when giving prescriptions. Lastly, set a clear deadline to compensate families who have been affected.
As for the Asian market, to avoid bringing despair to patients and significant losses for the company, we must take necessary actions to prevent the drug from being banned. By setting a more restrictive standard of drug use, we expect the rigorous measure can assure people of drug safety. To wrap up, the actions used in both market aim to lower risks of medication use by ensuring the drug is used correctly, and win back public trust by showing accountability, which can further protect business interests. This is the end of our report. Thanks for listening.